Today I'm going to talk about making the most of the time we have with our partners. And if this interests you, please keep watching. Hello, my friends. I started filming this when I was in the coffee shop, and it didn't come out that well, and there was so much background noise that I'm doing it again now that I'm back home. But in the meantime, walking home, I fell over flat on my face. Well, luckily not on my face, mostly on my hand, and I've got such a sore wrist. I just literally tripped on a little piece of paving that was sticking up probably that big. But anyway, that's just what happened to me today. The biggest thing that was hurt, of course, was my pride. All I did was look around to see who had seen me fall down. But before I chat about the topic that's on my mind today, I wonder if I could ask you to give my video a like, and if you're new here and enjoy this chat, please subscribe and leave me a comment. As most of you know, I'm in London at the moment, and I'm here for 2 weeks, and I came on my own because it wasn't really a holiday as such. It was more a family visit because my son Brendan was having his operation, and I wanted to see the grandchildren. I haven't seen them for quite some time. And so I said, well, I would come on my own for 2 weeks. And it was also obviously more economical for just one of us to come than both of us. I was a bit worried about leaving Peter on his own. He's going to be 80 in November, and he's a very fit and healthy 80, but since he's had his back up, he gets periods of type of lameness that sets into his legs, and he never knows when it's going to happen. And he also loses his balance a little since then. So, it doesn't stop him from leading a normal life, but it did concern me leaving him on his own for 2 weeks. But I called in all my favors, and I've asked family and friends to look in on him, and so far sounds like everybody has been, and he's been invited out for suppers, and he's had a round or two of golf, and so all going well with him. As I was sitting in the coffee shop today in a lovely easy chair, sitting at the front window enjoying my coffee, I was just looking out and looking at the people walking by. It's my favorite pastime, people watching, and just thinking, we don't know what's in anybody's minds. People are walking along. Some look like they're rushing. Others are just strolling. Some are probably having a bad day and we don't even know about it. And also I noticed quite a few elderly couples. I don't know if there's quite a lot of elderly people who live in this area, but some with a cane, others just holding on to each other's arms, and I just thought to myself, how wonderful that is, to be whatever ages they were, deep in their 80s, maybe 90s even, and be together out in the high street doing their shopping. And I hope they know how blessed they are to have that. But it really got me thinking about traveling without Peter. And as I said, this was a different type of trip. But nevertheless, none of us know how much time we've got. And I'm not being melodramatic, but we really don't. I do know of some people who very, very unfortunately do know that they have a death sentence hanging over their heads and they're very, very ill. I don't have that sort of information. I don't know how long I've got Peter with me for. I don't want to go on holidays that we've planned and saved for and wished for and thought about on my own once he's gone. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go on holiday on my own. But it's such a fine balancing line because we don't know how long we're going to live. And I know we're all in exactly the same position. And I feel free to speak about it. We just don't know how long we're going to live. We don't know how long our money needs to last. So obviously, if we knew we had 5 years or 3 years, whatever, we could go on a cruise for the next 3 years. But none of us know that. So such a fun balancing trick it is. But what I do know is that I don't want to go on holiday or away without him again. I've just realized that I want to make the most of the time that we've got left together. It sounds like maybe I'm just assuming that he's going to go before I do. But considering that he is quite a lot older than me, I suppose that would be the practical thing to think. I just want to make the most of this time that we've got together. Now, I'm not saying that this is the way it should be done, not by any means. And I know that many spouses or partners are saying, oh, for heaven's sake, I wouldn't go on holiday with my partner if you paid me. Couldn't think of anything worse. Well, you know, maybe there was a time in my life that I said that too. And I'm sure we've all felt that irritation at times. So, no, not saying that there's a right or a wrong way. I'm just sharing my feelings with you today. That I don't want to do this again. There are also people that I know that have no option. They don't have a partner. And I really admire those people who still travel. And sometimes alone, sometimes in a group, but get out there and see the world, even if it is on their own. But you know what I miss most when I'm not with Peter is I've realized that I'm constantly telling him to look at things when we're together, sort of giving him the elbow. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. We can't get that at home. Should we buy one? And him telling me that we definitely can't buy one because we either can't afford it or we can't fit it in our suitcase. But, you know, not having anyone to say, look at that, just made me miss him even more just today. Even in the coffee shop, he would have been sitting there with me having a cup of coffee. Just looking out. We'd be talking to each other, both drinking our coffee, enjoying it. And it made me feel differently today. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my feelings with you today. And if you're still watching, a big, big thank you to you. I just jumped straight into what I wanted to talk about. Very rude of me, I'm sorry. I didn't even say welcome to my channel. I didn't even welcome anybody who might be new to my channel. I just got straight in telling you about my fall down and my sore arm and how I was missing my husband. But welcome everybody. And if you're still here at this late stage of the video, thank you very, very much. And for anybody who's new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, bye for now.